Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Penelope Possum channel with me, your host, Penelope the Possum. Today is Spooky Scary Saturday, guys. Who's excited? 'Cause I am. Anyways, as promised last time, I got the latest Spooky Scary Sunday video, which was 2 or 3 Sundays ago. Hi! I'm gonna get something to drink and something to munch real quick. Yes. Yes. Don't worry about it. Just sleep, okay? Fuck. Hello. Ow. 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 Ah. Fuck. Ow. 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 Oh, God damn it. Ow. My fucking elbow. Shit. Fuck. That hurt. I'm back. Motherfucker. Hi, Retro. Hello, everybody.
Nobody likes going to the dentist. The smell of the
First videos. Yeah, I just bruised the shit out of my elbow on one of the walls because I wasn't looking and I'm dumb. Oh, I hit it so hard it hurt my bones. Yeah, I hit like my ulna. There's nothing funny about the ulna.
chemicals, the sound of the drill,
Of course, as we can see, this is Dr. Bob. I'm gonna have a nice big bruise all across my arm. That's gonna look great.
indignity of talking with someone's hands in your mouth. But as you settle into the dentist's chair, something about this particular visit feels especially wrong. Why are the hygienists looking at you like that? Who is this strange doctor entering the room? And why does your mouth feel so full all of a sudden? You can't move, you can't scream, and your teeth, they're multiplying? The man has been ignoring his persistent toothache for several weeks, but he just can't take it anymore. The dull ache has become a head-pounding throb of pain that cuts through every single thought. But of course, he waited far too long to treat it, and now here he is on a Sunday evening, trying to find a dentist who will give him an appointment. It's not his fault, he tells himself. He's been terrified of the dentist since he was a little kid. It takes a lot of pain to counteract that kind of phobia, but now he's reached that threshold. As he's browsing the internet, desperate to find an office that's open on Sundays, he spots an ad. Dr. Hendricks, dentistry 24 hours a day, 7 days.
Oh yeah, that looks legit. Totally. That looks totally 100% legit. Anyways, if anyone's curious what I got to snack on and what I got to drink, I got some mango cranberry juice and potato chips.
Days a week.
Very tasty.
The man isn't sure how that's possible, but the pain has made him desperate, so he calls the number on the ad and makes an appointment. The receptionist sounds a bit funny on the phone, like she has something in her mouth, but he brushes it off. 15 minutes later, he's walking into the office and checking in at the reception desk. The woman sitting there looks a bit unusual, but his mother raised him not to stare, so he gives her a polite, distant nod, declines her request to inspect his teeth for herself, and ignores the strange feeling in his gut at her words. Instead, he continues on to the exam room and waits for the doctor to take his pain away. He waits for quite some time, until he begins to worry that the dentist forgot about him. Or perhaps this office really was too good to be true, and this is some sort of scam.
Oh yeah, that's a nasty
But then the door opens, and in comes Dr. Hendricks with a cheerful demeanor and a smile in his eyes. His mouth is covered with a surgical mask, so the man can't be certain.
Yeah,
but he seems like he's definitely smiling. It's a good thing the man came in so quickly, the dentist assures him. His teeth are in dire straits. But don't worry, he's in very, very good hands, and by the time he walks out of the office, he'll be in great shape. The man asks the dentist if he can be put under for the procedure in order to prevent him from panicking. The dentist laughs uproariously at this request, but he agrees. He places a gas mask over the man's face, and the hissing sound of the gas fills the room. The man's eyes grow heavy, and the sterile white room fades to black. When the man wakes up, he's sitting on the sidewalk outside of the office, a plastic bag of mini mouthwash clutched in his hand. And his mouth, oh God, his mouth. It's aching like nothing he's ever felt before. But something else is wrong too. He reaches up to feel around his mouth with his fingers, and all the color drains from his face. His mouth is absolutely crowded with teeth. So many teeth, his tongue can't move without poking up against them. He expected to leave the dentist with one tooth missing, but instead, somehow, he has 30 more than he started with. Unfortunately for this man, who only wanted to have a toothache treated, he stumbled into the clutches of SCP-5150. SCP-5150 is a dental office located outside the northwestern perimeter of Indianapolis, Indiana. The office building occupies an area of approximately 140 square meters, and the interior measures 115 square meters. The building is unremarkable in every way, with the exception of an electrical sign above the building's front entrance, which reads, Dr. John Hendricks, DDS. Inside the building, there are 6 rooms and several anomalous entities designated SCP-5150-1, SCP-5150-2, and SCP-5150-3. SCP-5150-1 is the dental office's receptionist. Of course, as you may have already gathered, she is no ordinary receptionist. The entity has standard humanoid features, with the exception of the oral cavity. The entity's maxillary and mandibular bones, or upper and lower jaw, are disfigured and mutilated and have been noted to have missing incisors, extra canines, and bleeding gums. The entity seems to have an intense interest in human teeth, and once she has gotten her hands on some, her anomalous properties will begin to manifest notably. She will insert stolen human teeth into her mouth and into her gums. This appears to be intended to correct the issues with her oral cavity, but the exact motivation for this behavior is still unknown. Anyone who enters SCP-5150 must interact with SCP-5150-1 at her reception desk in order to continue through or exit the building, regardless of how much aggression she displays toward them. SCP-5150-2 refers to several anomalous dental hygienists that populate the entirety of SCP-5150, with the exception of the waiting area. These entities resemble the receptionist, but move more freely throughout the building rather than being confined behind a desk. They are similarly aggressive and will attack human subjects in order to apprehend them and bring them into one of the examination rooms. They carry a variety of dental instruments on their person and will happily use these instruments as weapons in order to subdue their victims. Once the hygienists have taken a human subject to an exam room, they will strap them to an operating table and prepare them to meet the remaining entity lurking within the office. Then it's time for the unfortunate human subject to meet the dentist himself, SCP-5150-3, also known as Dr. John Hendricks. This entity spends his time in the examination rooms as well as his personal office. When he is presented with a patient, he will begin to insert teeth directly into their mouth, where they will anomalously take root and result in extreme cases of hyperdontia. The source of these additional teeth is currently unknown. Once the operation is complete and Dr. Hendricks is satisfied with the amount of teeth he has forced into his patient's mouth, he will then attempt to give the subject a plastic bag containing a variety of over-the-counter oral healthcare products. These can include a toothbrush, dental floss, mouthwash, and toothpaste. The subjects will not be allowed to leave the building without taking this bag with them. Analysis of these products has not revealed any anomalous properties. On July 9, 2023, the SCP Foundation conducted an investigation of SCP-5150. Subject D457142 was ordered to investigate and explore the building. He was equipped with a camera and microphone, as well as a chocolate bar, which was placed in his pocket for emergency use. Control lead was assigned to Bobby Daniels, and Marcus Drago and Andrew Fuller were additional team members on the investigation. D457142 approached the building, but hesitated.
Why would they give him a candy bar for emergencies
before going inside? He asked what would happen after he entered the building, but Daniels refused to elaborate. His questions went unanswered. With no other option, D457142 entered the building. When he opened the door, a doorbell dinged to signal his entry. As the door closed behind him, he could hear a click as the lock slid into place. This sent the man into a state of anxiety, and he attempted to open the door. It wouldn't budge. He called out to Control over the microphone, begging them to unlock the door, promising that he would not run. Daniels at Control explained that he couldn't do anything about it, as the Foundation had no control over the doors. That lock was all SCP-5150's doing. After some hemming and hawing, D457142 had no option but to proceed and continue into the waiting area of SCP-5150. Inside, he saw a row of 4 chairs, a smattering of assorted toys common to any medical waiting room, and more chairs. There, off to the side, was the counter. And
so like the slidey puzzle game?
A sheet of glass with a small opening approximately 1.2 meters tall and 0.8 meters wide, the receptionist was waiting. Strangely, the camera feed was not able to pick up any of the receptionist's physical features, leaving the test subject alone to observe her and try to make sense of what he was seeing. Nothing was especially out of the ordinary in the room at first glance, aside from the episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer playing on one of the waiting room TVs. The subject walked through the room, taking note of everything that he saw. Then he turned to face the receptionist. The receptionist was dressed in a white collared shirt with a white face mask covering her mouth. There was a sheet of paper directly in front of her. She greeted the test subject. "Hello, sir. Can I help you schedule an appointment?" Unsure of what else to do, the test subject played along. He asked her how to proceed with scheduling, and the receptionist handed him a pen and directed him toward the paper in front of her. She instructed him to sign and then wait for his appointment with Dr. Hendricks in 5 minutes. Once the subject signed the paper, the receptionist stated, "Now, before you can enter, there's one thing I'll need to see." The subject agreed, asking what she needed to see. The receptionist responded, "Your teeth, of course. May I see them?" As you might expect, the test subject found the request off-putting and inquired why she might need to see his teeth. She responded in a friendly tone, "I'm currently taking online classes for dentistry and I need experience. Occasionally patients will let me take a look at their teeth so I can predict how well an appointment with Dr. Hendricks will go. Will you let me try with you?" The subject relented, opening his mouth. As soon as he did, the receptionist reached out and grabbed hold of the lower left quadrant of the man's jaw. The receptionist praised the man's teeth, exclaiming how clean they were. Then she quickly pulled a pair of pliers from underneath her desk, clamping them to the bottom central incisors of the subject's mouth. She pulled toward herself with a sudden, sharp yank, extracting the teeth from the subject's mouth in less than 1 second. The test subject recoiled, clutching at his mouth and screaming in pain and shock. Blood dripped onto the camera lens as the subject struggled to wipe it away. He stumbled toward a nearby tissue box, grabbing a fistful of tissues to sop up the blood and stem the flow. Meanwhile, the receptionist went about her business. She stared at the 2 bloody teeth in her hand, admiration in her eyes. Next, she removed her face mask, revealing her disfigured oral cavity, and began to forcefully insert the new teeth into empty areas of her gums. As the subject backed away from the reception desk in horror, the receptionist called out, "Dr. Hendricks can see you now, sir. Please head to room 3 for your examination." Of course, the subject was reluctant to continue into the building, but Control insisted that he go through the door leading to the exam rooms.
Okay,
At first,
I put
he
some
refused.
salve on it.
After a reminder
No,
that he was
feels
locked
better.
in and the promise of a medical team waiting for him after the investigation was finished, he saw no option but to move forward. So he tossed his bloody wad
God,
of tissue
what a
paper in the
horror
trash
show.
and pushed through the next set of doors. As before, he could hear the click of the lock behind him, trapping him inside. He stepped carefully into the hallway, pressing his body against the left side of the wall as the sudden sound of laughter echoed through the hall. Where was it coming from? Who could be laughing somewhere like this? He wasn't sure he wanted to know the answer. He continued through the hall, edging along the wall. Suddenly, he froze, crouching down to hide as one of the hygienists exited a nearby door. The entity passed him without noticing him, entering another exam room. The subject continued until he reached the far side of the hallway where a door with the nameplate John Hendricks was waiting. He opened the door and entered. There was no one inside. He checked in with Control, asking for instructions on what to do next. Control advised him to look for anything that could potentially be important. Documents, research papers, journal pages, anything that might shed some light on the nature of SCP-5150.
This is
He obeyed
very
and began to search the desk, but found it was empty.
empty.
Just then, the door to the office opened, and a hygienist called out to the subject, "What are you doing? We have another room waiting for you." At this point, cornered and with nowhere to run, the test subject grabbed his emergency chocolate bar and unwrapped it. At the sight of the sugary treat, the hygienist screamed and backed away. Two other entities appeared, wielding sharp double-sided probes used during dental examinations. The three entities advanced toward the subject. In a panic, he threw the chocolate bar, and it collided with the third hygienist. The entity shrieked, its mouth beginning to bleed as its teeth rapidly decayed. But now the subject was left unarmed and could not defend himself against the assault of the other two entities. They grabbed hold of him, one entity stabbing the subject with the probe, while the other bit down on his exposed forearm hard enough to draw blood and crack the bone.
Christ, what the
As he
hell?
cried out in pain and fear, with no one able to save him, the subject was dragged to exam room 3. There, the hygienist
Is he
strapped him
gonna
down on an
live?
operating table, tying him in place with leather straps. "You can trust us, sir," one of the entities said. "We'll just need to pull some teeth before the dentist arrives." At this point, the entities removed the subject's 2 lower canines and 3 molars, all while he remained conscious and screaming. Then the door opened, and another entity came into the room. The doctor was in. At the sight of the dentist, the test subject began to spit various expletives. Dr. Hendricks met the verbal assault with an amused chuckle. "What a tongue! Why so harsh? Don't worry, this is for your own good. I know it may be scary, but it'll all be done with soon." The dentist spotted the camera, removing it from the subject's body. "Is this for a home video? Well, no matter. Technically, this does break some patient-doctor confidentiality laws, but I can let this one slide. Here, let me get this at an angle where it can record better." He placed the camera in the far right corner of the room, where it captured video of both the subject and Dr. Hendricks. All the while, the subject's mouth continued to bleed. The dentist continued to speak. "There we go, much better. Now, where were we? Oh, that's right. By the looks of it, it seems like they've already started. It's a shame. Your teeth aren't looking so great right now, but that's why you're here. I can help make it all better." The dentist retrieved several medical cleaning supplies from the side of the room, as well as an
What the
array of
fuck?
syringes. Then,
This
he was
is
ready to work.
horrifying.
The test subject's nightmare was far from over. The dentist elevated the operating chair and inserted a Jennings gag device into the subject's mouth in order to keep it open. What happened next could have been briefly mistaken for an ordinary teeth cleaning, other circumstances aside. The dentist used a dental mirror and several tools to pick and scrape at the remaining teeth in the subject's mouth, as if checking for plaque and tartar. Next, however, things got a bit more gruesome. He swapped the probing tools for a dental drill and began to dig into the subject's gums and inner cheeks. The
Oh.
drill was used on the subject's mouth for a duration of 15 minutes. If you're concerned about the lack of anesthetic used during these procedures, allow me to clarify that various high-quality anesthetics were administered. However, they were injected in the wrong location.
What?
You are yelling really loud.
Sorry.
Or at insufficient dosages to adequately reduce the subject's pain. Sadly, he was fully aware of every
man.
agonizing sensation. After 2 hours, the dentist cheerfully remarked, We're almost done with the cleaning. He added, "You're doing just fine. See, I knew you wouldn't be so snappy after I started my work. Don't worry, I'll just have to do one more thing. But before I can do that, I'll have to move your camera. I can't allow this to be recorded. You understand, right?" He turned the camera so that the lens faced the wall, preventing any visuals of what happened next from being captured. This
Maybe
is
that's for
especially
the best,
unfortunate,
though.
given that this was the point in the procedure at which the dentist's anomalous abilities manifested. The nature of these abilities is still, sadly, unknown. All that was captured by the microphone was moans of pain and the sounds of crunching as the subject's new teeth crowded into his gum line. After 20 minutes, the procedure was complete, and the dentist handed the subject a bag filled with various oral care items. Eventually, the subject was able to exit the building. When he emerged, he was pale and shaking, with splatters of blood down his shirt and an extreme case of hyperdontia. There were so many teeth present in the subject's mouth that he was unable to speak coherently. He was then taken to Site 334's infirmary, where his hyperdontia was treated,
Jesus.
and he was debriefed. After treatment, he was given
Damn.
amnestics and released.
Good.
At this point, any
Damn.
further experimentation with SCP-5150 was suspended, pending the judgment of the Ethics Committee. No follow-ups were conducted with the test subject. Still, I would be personally curious to know if his ordeal left him with a lifelong phobia of the dentist, even after the application of amnestics. I certainly don't believe I would ever be the same again.
Yeah, I don't think that would be something you could ever really recover from.
SCP-5150 was placed under containment within Provisional Site 334. A disinformation campaign and cover story for this provisional site was established concerning the fictional Hops Railroad Company. This was intended to hide SCP-5150 and any of its related media, including poster advertisements, newspaper articles, and social media posts. In the event of unauthorized access to SCP-5150, all personnel were required to be detained and immediately transferred to the on-site infirmary upon exiting the building. Excess teeth would be removed and stored there, and personnel would be given a thorough evaluation before being given Class C amnestics.
I know.
All on-site
it's
personnel
like,
who interacted with SCP-5150 in an approved capacity were required to carry one candy bar containing a minimum of 35 grams of sugar at all times. You may be wondering why these containment procedures are detailed in the past tense. Well, there's a reason for that choice. The current containment procedures are no longer up to date, as the anomaly is no longer adequately contained.
Oh,
As of
Jesus,
August 1st,
that's not good.
2023, the building originally designated as SCP-5150 is completely absent of anomalous entities or paranormal activity. It is unknown how or why this shift took place, but the anomaly appears to have moved rather than disappeared. On September 22, 2023, posters advertising the dental practice of one Dr. John Hendricks were reported near the city of Greenwood, Indiana. All personnel assigned to Provisional Site 334 have been given a new directive: relocate and recontain SCP-5150 wherever it is migrated to. The dental health of innocent people
Damn.
depends on it. Remember to take good care of your teeth, brush and floss every day, and be sure to attend your regular dental checkups. And of course, always count your teeth before and after an appointment, just in case. Check out the Dr. Bob Patreon and become a junior researcher today. Now go and watch another entry from the files of Dr. Bob, like SCP-011, Dragon Snails.
My name is Stephanie, and I volunteer at a
And this is from IMR Scary Tales.
local library. One day, I found a phone nestled between a
Oh,
discarded
that's bad.
newspaper and a worn-out chair in the quietest corner of the place.
That is really
It was
bad.
an ordinary smartphone, slightly scuffed around the edges. Whoever it belonged
no.
to probably forgot it there. The head librarian had left, taking the keys with her, so I kept the phone with myself in case the owner called. But that night, as I lay in bed scrolling through the phone's gallery, hoping to find a clue about its owner, who appeared to be a fantastic photographer, I suddenly found an image of me.
Oh,
Me
no.
At a cafe. It shook
It's
me.
a stalker.
As I scrolled further, I found more of them. Me walking through a park, and then a railway station, and then at the airport. The pics were always taken from a distance. A chill ran down my spine, but rationality told me there must be a reasonable explanation. Or did I have a stalker? But as the night grew deeper,
I think it's time to find out who owns this phone and report them to the police. It shouldn't be difficult to find out who owns the phone. It's a smartphone.
the new photos appeared, escalating in their intimacy and terror. One showed me sleeping soundly in my bed, a vantage point impossible without someone else in the room. Another captured me in the shower, the steam swirling around an obscured figure reflected in the mirror. My heart
Jesus.
pounded against my ribcage. How could someone take these photos without me noticing? Amid my growing panic, I noticed a folder marked secret, protected by a passcode. My attempts to guess it were futile. It was then another photo appeared, this one different. It was of the phone itself, lying on my kitchen table with a 4-digit code scrawled beneath it. I didn't understand how these pics were magically appearing, but with trembling fingers, I entered the code into the phone. What I found in the secret folder was a digital rabbit hole leading me straight into the life of a man obsessed with fear. The phone belonged to a recently deceased local photographer renowned for his unnerving ability to capture pure terror in his subjects. Newspapers had mentioned an unfinished project, a series of photographs meant to explore the thin veil between life and death.
Hold on, I know that image. That image is from a comic I read. That image is from like a comic series I've seen before.
My mind raced, piecing together the unsettling truth. This wasn't just a phone. It was something bigger. But why me? Why were these photos appearing now? As the night bled into the darker hours, the presence I'd sensed through the phone began to seep into the very walls of my apartment. It started with the mirrors. Each reflection seemed to harbor a shadow that wasn't mine, a silhouette of a man with a camera perpetually aimed as if waiting for the perfect shot of my escalating fear. Windows, too, became frames for the spectral photographer's glimpses, catching me off guard with fleeting images of his figure, always just out of focus, always chillingly silent. Sleep became a distant memory as my nights were invaded by nightmares, where flashes of light chased me through endless corridors. It was as if the photographer, even in death, was continuing his final, ghastly project through me, making me the subject of a gallery I never wished to be a part of. Driven by a mix
That's
of terror and
terrifying.
determination, I resolved to end this. I tried everything to destroy the phone, smashing it, drowning it, and even burning it, but each attempt was in vain. The phone remained unscathed, as if protected by some unseen force. The photos began to change then, no longer content with capturing my fear. They showed places, dark and decrepit locations that sent shivers down my spine with their mere appearance. Each was linked to the photographer's life and his mysterious, untimely death. Clues, I realized, to a puzzle I was being compelled to solve. Was his spirit seeking justice or revenge?
Maybe.
Then one night,
Could be both.
rang. A video call from an unknown number. Hesitation gripped me, every instinct screaming to ignore it, but the need for answers pushed me to accept the call. The screen flickered to life, revealing the
It's a black
interior
room.
of a room I recognized from one of the haunting photos. And there, in the dim light, stood the photographer, his skin pale, almost translucent. Behind him, arrayed like trophies, were photos. Photos of many women, their eyes wide with the terror as well. His voice, when it came, was a whisper, yet it filled the room, filled my mind with a chilling clarity.
You are the last one, the final piece.
I understood
Jesus.
then. This wasn't just about capturing fear or even about his untimely death. It was some kind of ritual, one that needed a final living subject to complete. His death had been no accident. It was a sacrifice, one that he now sought to replicate with me. panic and clarity warred within
What
me as I
the
realized the truth.
fuck?
The phone wasn't just a medium for his hauntings. It was the anchor, keeping him tethered to this world, allowing him to complete his ghastly project. And
Time to take the phone
last
to the
subject,
church.
was the key to either his ultimate masterpiece or his banishment. With the ghost's eyes boring into mine through the screen, a plan formed, desperate and dangerous. If the phone was the anchor, then it was the key to breaking his hold over me and the others he tormented. Channeling every ounce of willpower, I directed my gaze back at him, at the camera, and forced a smile. "You want fear?" I asked, my voice steadier than I felt. "Then you're looking at the wrong subject." I put on a smile, a big smile, and immediately he was rattled. My room's windows started shaking and mirrors started shattering. I was scared, but somehow I was managing a smile. He yelled an ungodly cry from the other side, and even my bed started shaking. Frames were falling off, chairs were sliding, but I kept smiling from ear to ear. And then, everything stopped.
What
Silence.
the fuck?
The call was disconnected. My pictures were gone, and so was the secret folder. The harrowing night finally came to its end.
Bro, I think she might have been tripping. It seems like a really bad drug trip. I'll be completely honest. It feels like a bad drug trip.
I've always been an avid hiker and have gone on literally hundreds of different hiking trails over
Hello?
the last several years. I've explored just about every trail and good place to hike near where I live, and whenever I travel, the first
Why
thing I
does
do
bro's
is look for
face
trails
look like
I've already
that?
I really enjoy being out in nature whenever I can, and it makes me feel really good and relaxed.
Why does bro's face look like that? Oh my god, what the fuck? What's wrong with this dude's face? Why he ain't got no nose bridge? Why his face just go forehead, nose? There's usually a small slope.
Relaxes me. Anyways,
He wouldn't be able to
the
wear
story I'm telling you
glasses.
occurred
Oh
about 2
no.
years ago now. I went to a trail
Why is
in a
his
wooded
face a
area
different
which was
color
about
from his
15 minutes away
neck?
from where I live, really out in the wilderness. There was a hiking path in the area, but I wanted to go off the path a little bit because I had been on the hiking path before. There was some great land in the area, and even though there wasn't an official path in this one spot, there was plenty of space to walk around, and it was kind of an unofficial.
Always stay on the trails. Always stay on the trails. Always stay on the trails. If you wander off the trails, you're asking for it. I'm sorry.
official path. I walked down that ways for a good 30 minutes or so, but then the terrain started to get really rough, and after a while, I wasn't really equipped for it with the shoes that I had on, so I turned back to return to my car.
Bro's a redneck. His
I
neck's
got back and
super
drove all the way
red.
home before realizing that I didn't have my phone on me. I got that terrible feeling you get when you lose your phone, and after looking around in my car, I realized I hadn't remembered using my phone since I had been way out in the woods. I
Ah,
realized that I knew
biscuits.
exactly where it probably was. Well, not the exact location, but an estimated area of where it would be.
Oh,
I
that's
realized
no
it likely
good.
fell out of my pocket as I walked over the rough terrain in the woods. By now, it had gotten dark out, and I
Bruh.
was a little bit hesitant to go back out there. But I had been out in the woods at night before, and I wasn't scared at all.
No.
I hadn't seen anyone else in the park that day either.
Dude, no. It's late at night. You're going off of the trail. This is like literally everything you're not supposed to do. This is like all the things you're not supposed to do when you're on a hike. When you're on a hike, you stay on the trails. You don't stay out at night. There's just... Oh my god, dude. Just go the next fucking day or set up a camp nearby and then go then. Like, it's not that big of a deal, broski. At worst, and you cannot find your phone at all, Deactivate your phone. They tried autonomy but ended up with scoliosis.
So I wasn't too concerned anyone would take my phone. or
Retro,
anything
did
like
you
that.
take your
Like
medicine
most
today?
people, I used my phone for everything. So even though it was nighttime, I decided to drive back and
Yeah,
quickly
you
go
use
out
my
to get
phone for everything. Maybe you shouldn't be so fucking
I was
reliant
very
on
confident I would
technology.
find it. And as I got there and set out to the path again, I couldn't help but feel slightly creeped out entering
Yeah,
the
it's
woods
just a
now
phone. Get a
all
new
by
one.
myself.
Get over it.
I walked on the path to the point that I had gone off of it earlier. I have always been really good with directions and landmarks, so I knew it was the same spot. And I followed the little unofficial trail until the part with the bumpy terrain to where I
Did I just see eyes?
then I
There's
followed the little
like
unofficial
shiny
trail
bits
until
in
the part
the.
with the bumpy terrain to where I expected my phone to be. As I entered the area,
I'm sure I
thought
saw
heard a
eyes in
noise of
the.
a tree branch cracking in the distance, maybe 50 feet away.
Mm,
It
no.
caused me to pause in my tracks and
fucking no. Fucking run. Maybe. Okay.
go silent.
This is where we
but I heard
fucking
nothing
run.
else.
We
As I
fucking
started
run
to
away
walk
from this
again,
place
I heard
and
more
never
noises
return.
I thought it was some type of animal and looked in the direction. I didn't see anything, and then heard the noise of walking in the distance again, but it sounded distinctly like a human the way the footsteps were.
No
Still, I knew it was
fucking no.
unlikely that anyone would be out here now. I nervously decided to
Idiot.
call out hello on the slim chance there was
Stupid
another
fucking
person out
idiot.
there.
Oh
I
my
got no
god.
response. I wasn't sure what kind of animal it was.
This is the motherfucker that dies first in the fucking horror movie. This is the guy who goes, "Oh, I lost my phone in the woods. I better go find it out in the dark, dark woods off the beaten path. Oh no, there's a big old murderer coming after me. Oh, I'm gonna trip over nothing and die. This dude's gonna fucking die."
Be though, and as I slowly walked closer, suddenly
Bro's
I
gonna
finally
die.
saw my phone on the ground. It was such a relief to finally see what I had been looking for. Now I could get out of the woods. I picked it up, and as I did, I started to hear the noises again coming towards me. I just couldn't tell what was making the noises. I looked all around, and finally off in the distance, I thought I saw what appeared to be a person ducked behind a tree. All I really saw was a leg for a second.
This is some
and that was it.
cultist shit.
But I decided to get
There's
out
a
of there
cult
as
that lives
quickly
in
as I
that
could.
woods.
I didn't
I swear
want
to
to
God,
run,
there's a
so I
cult that
started
lives in that
slowly
woods.
walking, but it quickly turned into a fast walk, and as I heard noises behind me, I couldn't take it anymore, and I turned it into a full sprint. I ran as fast as I could.
That was
through
a
the woods,
janky
hearing some
running
noises behind me
animation.
as I did. The noises weren't really that close, and I couldn't tell for sure if I was being followed or not, but I was not wasting a second in there longer than I
Lol,
had to.
that'd be funny.
I had my phone, and I was just happy to get out of there. When I finally made it back to my car,
6677.
I immediately started it up and left. I drove home, and once I got back, I finally was able to respond to some texts that I had gotten and things like that. As I was on my phone, I noticed that the camera app had been opened. I went on it and noticed some photos on my phone that I didn't recognize. There were several pictures taken on my phone
Skinwalker,
during the time that it
Vitacarnis?
had been lost
Maybe.
in the woods. One appeared to be of the sky.
Grass.
Another couple were of the ground that were blurry. Then I saw
Person.
one that appeared to be a man, but it was really blurry. I couldn't make out any details of his face with how blurry it was or anything like that. But seeing those photos really gave me the creeps. That woods was really out there in kind of the middle of nowhere, and I can't believe anyone else was out there, much less who would have been on my phone. I'm quite certain whoever took those photos was the person out there in the woods with me.
Do skinwalkers know how to use phones?
I had a terrifying experience last year. I live alone in a smaller house.
That's a good question.
and I've
What
been
is-
living there for 3 years now.
What does Skinwalker know how
It
to
has 2
use a phone?
bedrooms and just 1 bathroom, but it's enough
Are they
space for me.
intelligent?
I also have a somewhat small front yard and a fenced-in backyard as well.
Hey, Catio!
One Friday night, I got home from work
Googly
a little
eyes.
early. I didn't have anything going on that night, but was going to hang out with some friends the following
Me
day.
going out into the woods
I
to
decided to do all of my
googly
chores right
eyes
then and
onto
there
all
and
the
get them out of the way.
skinwalkers.
There are a lot of chores that I do throughout the week.
Yeah,
also
put
some
a
that I leave for the
passcode on your
weekends,
damn phone,
like
dummies.
doing laundry and vacuuming the carpet in my house, which is all carpet, and a few other things as well.
Bruh.
So after getting home, I did laundry, vacuumed, and cleaned the bathroom as well. I also organized a
Hush
few other things.
toast.
It only took me like an hour and a half to do everything, and then I was going
Hush
to cook some food.
toast.
I had a recipe that I saved on my phone, and I
One
was going
moment.
to try.
Sorry, Cat was being very, 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 very dumb. Her tail is very cute though, and it goes up. It goes up
However,
and it wiggles.
I realized then that I couldn't find my phone.
Much like a
Obviously,
silly
I didn't
little
have it
wiggle
when I was
worm.
cleaning and stuff.
Like she
Normally,
is.
I would
a
have left
silly
it on the
little
coffee
wiggle
table
worm.
in the living room, or sometimes I left it on the couch. When I looked in both of those places, though, I couldn't find it. I was not worried until
Just
I
a
looked in the
moment,
entire
Googling
kitchen,
something.
and it wasn't there either. I went into the bathroom and my bedroom as well, and I knew it wasn't there, but I looked anyways. After not finding it at all, I wondered if I lost it somewhere at work or something. But then I remembered that I had my phone shortly after arriving back
Just
at
a
my
moment,
house.
one more time.
I had texted
Oh yeah,
one of
this
my
die is
friends,
definitely
so I knew that it
higher
had to
than
be
a
around
fucking
here somewhere.
kite.
I took all of the cushions off of my couch, and it wasn't there. I basically turned the entire place upside down, but the phone just wasn't anywhere. This really puzzled me. I did not have a house phone, or any other phone, so I couldn't call to see where it was.
Bro,
The last place that I decided
stop
to look
smoking
was
the
basement.
Swede.
I had an unfinished basement, which I really never
Dude,
used.
bro needs to stop
There were all
smoking
kinds
all
of
the
pipes
weed.
and beams down there, and I also stored several large boxes and other items. I kept my vacuum down there, but just next to the base of the stairs. So I had only gone down there earlier just to grab the vacuum and then put it back. Maybe, just maybe, on some slim crazy chance, it was down there. I mean, I didn't know where else it would be. I turned on the light and then started to head down the stairs. The light did not do a whole lot, and it only lit up one measly bulb near the base of the stairs. After walking down, I looked on the floor next to the vacuum, but saw
I
nothing.
really gotta clean that
I was
off.
about to turn and head back upstairs, but then heard a noise. I also thought that I saw some movement out of the corner of my eye. It was mostly out of my sight, and also in a darker area of the basement. When I heard this, I stopped and turned to look in the direction of it. That's when I saw a man come into my view from
that's
behind a
bad.
large box. He was really creepy looking, and I honestly couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Bro looks like a
He was a
toad.
ways away, and I was so shocked for a second or two that
This
I
dude
didn't know
looks
how
like
to
a
react.
toad.
The man then stood up
The guy
and actually
telling
started
the story
walking
sounds
towards
like
me.
he's high off of his
I
ass.
then turned and bolted up the stairs like my life depended on it. I made it up to the top and left my basement. Then I slammed the door shut behind me and ran for my front door. I did not stop until I had made it all the way outside. During this, I didn't think at all. It was really all reaction. I just wanted to get out of my house. After leaving, I realized that I hadn't grabbed my keys or anything at all. Obviously, I didn't have my phone, so I couldn't call the police, and I couldn't get in my car either. I also didn't want to go back inside my house, so I ran to a neighbor's. I didn't go next door because I thought the guy might
hold on.
run outside after me. So instead, I ran several doors down and then knocked on the front door of that house. I didn't know who they were, but I just hoped that they would answer. Luckily, after about 30 seconds, they did. I asked them to call the police and then told them what was happening. They agreed to call the police, and we both waited on their front step and watched my house. We saw no sign of anybody leaving. I wasn't sure if the guy had already gone out or if he was still inside. The police were really quick to respond, though, and got there probably within 2 minutes. I went back over with my neighbor and met an officer there. The police then entered my house as we waited outside. They came out a while later with the same man that I had seen
Oh,
in my
this
basement.
guy is actually
He'd still
smart.
been
He
in the
called the
house.
cops.
In fact, he was found hiding in my basement, and on him he had my cell phone in his pocket. I was able to get my phone back, but the whole thing really creeped me out a lot. I'm not sure when or how he got my phone. The only thing that I can think of is that he was already in my house when I got back from work. Then he might have came upstairs without my knowledge and took the phone and went back down. How he got in the house
Okay,
and when
but
he got in the
why
house, I
and
also
how?
don't know. Maybe I simply forgot to lock my front door, or maybe he
Right.
entered through a window. There were no signs of a break-in. Either way, since that experience, I bought security cameras, and I'm always sure to make sure that my doors are locked.
times before it begins to damage the animatronic.
And this is by Valox, Ignited Salvage.
And decrease its value.
Also, from what I could see, skinwalkers are somewhat intelligent. Maybe. But that is neither here nor there, nor am I able to confirm this. As far as I'm actually aware, skinwalkers aren't real. I've never seen one.
Begin audio prompt in
I still don't know where they'd live.
1.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Document results. Begin audio prompt in 3, 2, 1.
Chica, you moved your arms. Still there, buddy? Oh, that's not good. Oh, this is bad.
Begin audio prompt in 3, 2, 1.
Well, shit. This dude's gonna die for sure, too.
Document results. Begin audio prompt in 3,
Shit, shit, shit.
1.
Well, that's not good.
Sit back, relax, grab some snacks. Go
And this one's by Corey Kenshin.
ahead, get you a bag of Ruffles, some Now Laters, and a Capri Sun. And with that being said, first video.
Jalen, you've been going crazy.
Now, I really do like Corey a lot. He's very funny and very, very, fun to watch. Play games and react to scary videos. He always has good reactions. The only problem, it seems, is that he has a hard time keeping a good schedule. Look at this doofus dancing around like a dummy. Also, the samurai theming of his channel is very well loved and,
Song's over. I'm tired.
Here's the schedule for tonight's programming. At 8:15, we... Local 78 would like to apologize for the minor disruption in our broadcast that some of you may have seen a moment ago. Regular programming will begin again shortly.
Guys?
Also, that's another thing I like about Corey's videos is that they do have a sort of a lore to them. The spooky, scary videos have a lore to them. I don't know if I want to do any kind of deep lore for my videos or anything. Mostly because I don't know how to do lore. I'm better at drawing and design, not so much writing. if I ever wanted to do lore, I'd probably ask Explodo Jones, my husband, to do it. He's better at that. He's better at creative writing than I am.
It's happening! Hey! You see? Hey, we actually here. It's actually happening. Spooky Scary Sunday. What? It's not Sunday. This is all your fault. No, it's not. Let me Chair, listen. I was just playing. I'm sorry. All right, so it's not Sunday, right? No! But it's still, we still doing a Spooky Scary Sunday after, I mean, the last one was on Christmas, right? So.
Yeah, the last one he did was on Christmas, and this was, when was this? 9 months ago. You could have had a kid in the time he had this out. Now, no disrespect on Kenshin, no disrespect on Mr. Corey. He's very fun, but clearly he needs a better schedule that works for him better with this whole YouTube thing. You can't have a program on your channel called X, like, let's say, Wacky Weird Wednesday. Like, you can't have something that's for a specific day and not be able to film that specific day every time. It's understandable missing a few days here and there. But you need to make sure as often as possible to have the day where you're supposed to film a specific day thing free. That's why I always make sure I have Saturday nights free for Spooky Scary Saturdays. I have Tuesdays and Thursday nights off always. I never plan anything late at night on Saturday, Thursday, or Tuesday. Sometimes I do, but I still make sure to film something.
I'm trying. Y'all like the dance? Y'all like the little
Yeah,
Tyson
you're
act?
trying, bud.
Listen, man. Huge shout out to Jalen Rex for doing.
I do have to admit, though, his videos do take a lot longer than mine to make. Mine, I just completely no editing, no work, just straight into it. Nothing.
Doing a drill remix of the Spooky Scary Sunday theme. Jug is hard. Like, once I heard it, I was like, all right,
I gotta do something with this. I mean,
there are definitely a lot of musically talented samurai. Ever since back in the day, like, y'all been making beats for me. Risey and Cryptic and Hino. We miss you, bro, wherever you are. Colors. We've had a lot of really talented producers. Now we got Jalen Rex, so welcome. I realized after I was doing all that dancing, I got like 10 years on all of them. I am no longer like, it's so strange how insidiously, is that even an adverb?
Yep.
That time passes. It's like, I remember I was like the young generation of YouTube, of content creators. I was in the new. I'm not anymore. Y'all are growing up with me. I'm not old, but it's like, I'm not young no more. Well, okay, relatively, subjectively. Anyways, I don't know where I was just trying to say, after I was done dancing, I had to catch my breath. But, I also eat a lot of pizza rolls and don't exercise very much and sit at my desk a lot. This is a PSA to be healthy and exercise. All right, Spooky Scary Sunday. It's been a minute. Wow. Shoot, how do we even do this? Like, what happens now? I mean, I got the uniform, CoreyXKitchen.com. I kind of want to just talk, like, Spooky Scary Sunday, right? Okay, do I remember the intro? Yes, I definitely remember it. I was shopping at Meijer today. It's a grocery store in the Midwest. Probably the greatest grocery store chain of all time. Not sponsored, but I saw like some subscribers. They came up to me, a whole group of them. They were like all brothers.
Just a moment.
And they were like, man, we messed with the content, bro. The Outlast trials, that was heat. And it just the look and excitement on their face, like, y'all gotta understand.
Ooh.
It's
dear.
just me,
oh, no.
right? I
no.
live a very
no.
private, very reserved life. I don't want to say almost to the point that I forget that there are other real human beings that watch me. I still read comments occasionally, but you learn that you can't really read comments all the time because it will start to, I don't want to say infest or corrupt. Yeah, corrupt your energy. Honestly, so I read comments sometimes, but since I don't read them all the time, my biggest interaction is when I'm at the grocery store or other places.
Love your videos.
People
your model is cute.
come up to me, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm Corey Kenshin." And it's still a wild.
And this is why I don't ever want to do. Well, maybe if I get like, all right, promise time. If I ever get like super big, like let's say 3 million subs, I'll do a face reveal. But before ever then, I'll do a reveal of the room I record in and show you guys my sweet computer. It's so cool. But that's part of why I wanted to do this as a VTuber, is I don't like the idea someone could just pick me out of a crowd and be like, oh hey, you're that one person I love watching on YouTube all the time. I don't do well with social interactions. I'm very awkward and socializing's not really my forte all the time. Especially since I have like a mundane job outside of YouTubing and VTubing. I don't want people coming up to me at my job and being like, hey, my kid watches you on the YouTubes all the time. And I'm like, I'd have to be like, great, thanks. That's $10.49. Like, how am I supposed to do my normal job that I get paid for if people start recognizing me if I get really big?
Unbelievable dream to me that I do this, am still doing this successfully at this level. Praise God. I thank God for all the blessings. I thank God for you guys. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna cut myself off here. Clearly, we're due for a one of these. We're due for a heart to heart. I used to do a lot of those back in the day. I would just upload 12 minutes, 15 minutes of me talking. But it's Spooky Scary Sunday. Y'all not here for that. Y'all here for the videos. Y'all not here for me. Are you? Don't lie. Come here. Don't lie to me. Are you here for me, or are you here for the games and the reactions and the scary videos? Who are you here for? Don't look away. Look at me. What you here for? You here for me? You here for the other stuff?
Bruh.
Okay. That's what I like to hear. Spooky Scary Sunday! For those who are new, it's the series. I hate that I have to say this part, because now it's like y'all don't let this go. But I'm gonna say it. I'm not changing anything. Spooky Scary Sunday, for those who are new, is a series where every Sunday the samurai come together and we have a blast. We come together and we watch some scary videos sent in by you guys via Twitter using the hashtag Spooky Scary Sunday. You go to Twitter, follow me at CoreyXKen.
The other main difference between me and Corey's Spooky Scary Saturday versus Sunday is Corey has a lot more energy than I do, but I think that sort of leans into the possum thing. Possums aren't very energetic creatures.
Use the hashtag Spooky Scary Sunday and leave a link to the scariest video that you know. Oh shoot. I forgot about this next part too. Hold up. And if video gets picked, get out! Bro! Where are you? It's been since Christmas. You just been hiding there?
And you'll never find me.
So sit back, relax, grab some snacks. Go and get you a bag of hot Cheetos, okay? Get you some pizza rolls, since I was already talking about that, and some apple juice. And with all that being said, first video.
That's a lot of sodium and sugar.
Now the first one of this week is called Velma Meets the Original Velma.
Okay, so I feel like this needs context. For anybody who doesn't know, there was a terribly shitty remake of Scooby-Doo, more focused on Velma as a character. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's Velma. Velma's the, cool, nerdy one. How could that be bad? No, it was bad. It was really bad. They basically turned everyone into these horrible caricatures of themselves. And Velma was this... You'll see.
And it was uploaded by Avocado Animations, which is not the guy that... Never mind. Now this was sent to us by Rattersea Jersey, who said, "Hey Corey, you gotta check this out. It gives me mad chills. I want a Nutri-Grain bar." Listen, you didn't even have to tell me about the Nutri-Grain. You know they right here. You know that. Y'all know that by now. They right here. Oh, this one's cut in half too. Oh, yep, I can feel it in there. Hold up, listen to that. This one's an 8-monther. Some of these Nutri-Grain bars are probably over a year old. I mean, honestly, they're props at this point. But if I really could give them to you, I would. So, Ratterson, hit the deck. Wait, did I call him Ratterson? That wasn't even his name. Ratterson. It's Rattersea Jersey. I said Ratterson. All right, I'm sorry. Let's start this video.
Dumbass.
Guys, look what I got. I found him right outside.
Norville, that dog is big and brown, which is the exact opposite of Fred's tiny white dog.
What?
Velma?
Oh, yeah, she knows the original. Oh, what?
Is something wrong?
Yeah, you don't look too good. I need some air!
So what Velma, quote unquote, there was about to say is that the dog is big and brown, the exact opposite of Fred's tiny white dog. Yeah, that's the kind of person they made Velma in the newest show. They reduced Shaggy into Norville, this trembling little simp for her for some ungodly reason. Daphne's some mean girl wannabe, and Fred's a gigantic overgrown man-child. Which, I mean, he has been in some ways before, but this is like a whole new level of... He literally throws temper tantrums, and it's a big plot point, if you can call it that, in the show that he never reached puberty.
Whoa.
Also, Scooby, the dog, doesn't exist in the show. They turned Scooby, the dog, into a human girl that Shaggy is dating. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
She's like, wait, what?
We've lost our way far from the Hanna-Barbera times.
Yeah, nothing beats the original. Wait. What?
I didn't think it happened so soon. It's getting worse.
What? Oh!
love you. You know that, right?
No.
I love all of you. But I don't understand why you keep remembering.
Dude.
We'd go solving mysteries together. It was simple, fun, but you started overcomplicating things.
You know, I never really thought of it before, but why can Scooby talk?
Now that you mention it, it is a bit odd.
Yeah, like, what's up with that, man?
Jeepers, Velma, you might be onto something.
And suddenly... The fun was over. So I took what remained, and I rebuilt you. I rebuilt the world. And we were back to our classic adventures. But you started to remember. Again, and again, and again.
So what happens?
I just want what we once had. Yet each time I capture less of your essence. This being my most flawed world yet.
Flawed? But we're meta now!
Ugh. Never the matter.
But, was so
I'll get it right. Next time.
Oh boy, you're done. Dude, he controls.
Please run.
I
don't like to chase.
Oh my!
The crunch. Okay, just double
That
checking,
was
making sure I didn't have to work tomorrow.
And I'm thinking like, there was no copyright infringement on that. Like, it was like the actual. Listen, I don't know. The one thing I do know is.
So, technically, since there was no copyright infringement on that, it's canon. That's why we keep getting new reboots of Scooby-Doo. Until he recaptures the essence of the original show again. It'll just keep being remade.
Alright, this next one is called The Kid and the Camera by Grumbled Entertainment. And it was sent to
I think I watched this.
It was by
on my
It's
own.
Yoch, who said, "Hey Corey, big fan. I don't know why, but this video gave me goosebumps." Y'all see that? Can I have a Nutri-Grain bar? Listen. Wait, why is this one cut in half too? You been nibbling on my bars?
Yep, so have.
Okay. So this is clearly gonna be some subversion of our, you know, childhood innocence. White noise. It's giving Mandela catalog.
Once upon a star, there lived a boy named Kalen.
Okay.
He was a happy little tot of 6 years old, and on his birthday, he received a very special gift.
Interesting.
His very own
man.
photo camera.
Alright, let's skip this. We already know what happens. We don't need to react with Corey on this, right?
Know what I'm saying? Now this next one is called Clap Clap, and it was uploaded by ACM Official. Now, this was sent to us by Betty Brown over on Twitter, who said, "I found the scariest I could. I fell out of my bed, man. Love you, Corey. Stay strong." Fell out your bed? Oh, this one gotta be juicy then. Has to be. Well, ACM Official, they really don't miss, so.
Perfect. Sarah, you gotta come see this.
Yo, first. Can you spell electrical fire? Sir, I don't think you're supposed to be. Funny thing is, this is how I used to be plugging my stuff up when I was a kid, though. Get the GameCube in this one, PS2 in this one, Game Boy SP charger in this one. Oh boy. That's not good. Oh, what did I say? I said it.
Sarah! Sarah!
Come check this out.
We're about to burn to death.
Come on.
What?
Weren't you gonna talk to Isaac about toys in our room?
I did. Okay, maybe I forgot. I'll tell him again tomorrow.
All right, what are you trying to show her, dude? Looking all
What you
smug.
smiling about?
Do you remember the clapper?
Yeah, no, I can't resist. My retort would have been, yeah, I remember something clapping.
God.
All right, I'm sorry.
Clapper.
Clapper.
Yeah, you know the thing where you clap and the lights turn on and off?
Clap
Just watch.
on.
That might be an issue. Oh,
Clap.
That's cool, right?
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Try it.
Neighbors finna think.
Come on, it'll be fun.
You gotta do
You
it.
have to clap twice.
Come on now. Oh no. Oh no.
Dylan?
Wait, what?
What the hell?
This isn't funny.
That's a mild reaction for somebody dematerializing in front of you. I'm like, yo, Dylan, yo!
I'm going to bed.
I'd be like, did the rapture just happen? The fourth kind? Wait, what? Oh, he's pranking her.
Dylan, what are you doing?
It was darkness. All I could see was darkness.
You're not making sense. Dylan?
Oh my goodness. Bring him back. Bring him
Dylan?
back.
Dylan?
Dude, clap your hands, please.
Mommy, where's Daddy?
He's just hiding.
Go to bed!
sweetie. Daddy got a silly little clapper. And he's playing a joke on Mommy.
You mean wear a clap like this? Where's
So,
Mommy?
Oh, they never coming back.
So it seems like the clapper takes whoever the last person who was that clapped after the next person does.
Whoever claps, they clap the other person away. Oh yeah, that kid's, he's not gonna be able to put that together. Oh, they're done. Wherever they are, the shadow realm, wherever they are, they're done. Now this next one is called True Horror Stories Overtime POV by True Horror Stories POV. So, as is tradition, you know the lights gotta come off on these. And this was sent to us by Matt the Cosmic Tiger, who said, never really verbally reacted to anything I'm watching alone before, but this one got me. Volume up, guys. Volume the freak up. Yo, y'all remember that one time? Dang. Y'all can barely see me, I'm black. Y'all see me? Quit lying.
Tak nak confirm. Thank you. Apa ni? Tadi kau check air dah stock up belum kat bawah?
Sedap kot.
Dah. Okay, tak apa. Then kalau gitu tak kirim apa-apa. Thank you.
Confirm tak nak belanja ni?
Confirm. Dah. Nat. Jangan lupa lock pintu. Kau selalu lupa. Okay.
She got the mic like strapped, like right here. Nah. I mean, this dude's alright, but go ahead, YouTube search bar, type Corey X Kenshin. I mean, bangers everywhere.
The element senyap sunyi ni memang something yang menyeramkan tau guys.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Nak buat apa ni?
You don't like the delay on the comments? I'm sorry.
Man, they got
I
the
can't
whole
fix
studio.
it. I really can't.
I need one of those. You hear her breathing? Like, why is she breathing this hard?
Kata dari stok. Tinggal satu je. Lupa
Peephole
wallet tau ni.
first. Peephole first. Peephole first. Spooky Scary Sunday has literally turned into a series of videos showing you what not to do. We don't open, repeat after me. We do not open doors without verifying who is at the door. Thank you.
Lupa wallet.
You let her go.
Seriously. The door does not have a peephole of any sort. What is happening
Stan,
here?
congratulations. You played yourself. It's a nifty lock, though. My lock don't make noise when I activate it.
Is this some kind of office or
Open it again,
something? Is this not a house? What is this?
Y'all got a
place?
doorbell. I mean, y'all got a lock that has a jingle, but no ring cameras? No ring doorbell?
Yeah.
You can't check your phone, see who's out there? Oh, didn't learn your lesson, huh? You're gonna open it 2 times. I don't feel bad for you. She did press pause.
The element senyap sunyi ni memang
She did press pause.
something yang menyeram.
She getting sleepy? You're not gonna drink that? Now it's just gonna be room temperature. It was in the fridge.
Is this some kind of weird office or something?
She didn't hear that door? Alright, that had to
I
be her
heard a door
office door.
click.
She had 0 reaction. Clearly you not sleepy. Get up. Oh, okay. Hey, she was acting like she wasn't. Alright. Oh, boy. It was a ghost laying next to her.
Where'd the soda go?
Smart. Evading the area. I like it.
Kau, aku panik sah.
Hold up. Where'd the drink go? There's no drink next to the laptop anymore.
Yeah, there was a drink next to the laptop. What happened?
Aku okay.
Where'd the drink go? Hey, where'd the drink go?
Ya Allah.
Where'd the drink go?
Tadi aku tengah yang kau cakap kau nak pergi beli air kan? Aku tengah ngantuk lah. So aku turun lah kat bawah. Oh my god, you will never believe what happens Aku turun bawah ambil air biasa lah kat fridge bawah kan. Then adalah benda jadi. Tapi aku rasa tu coincidence lah
Alright, here's my what I'm noticing. We need some verification of who she's sitting next to. I see hands, I see knees, I see a foot right there. I need to see a human. Okay, I need that camera to pivot 45 degrees, just like one of these real quick. Make sure she talking to who I think she's talking to. Because if she talking to that demon thing, she about to get a rude awakening.
Pergi beli kopi. Padahal kau yang selalu kat office Tak tahu.
Who do you think you're talking to?
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I freaking tell you? Who you talking to?
Oh boy, this is bad. Bleh, 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 bleh. Cat hair, bleh. Not a tasty snack. Cat hair is not a good snack.
Bust through the freaking glass.
Aku rasa aku rasa aku tertinggal barang tadi kat ni bawah.
Just get up and walk out.
Just
aku ambil dulu
Don't panic. Do not panic. Right now is the exact opposite time to panic. Panicking is a bad thing right now.
See, you're wasting time. I wouldn't have did it like that. Can you open the door, please? Glass!
Break it!
She's like, where my pop?
Bro, leave your phone.
That thing said. Dude, what are you doing?
Bro,
get away from that!
This chick is stupid as hell. Oh my god.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
It's like a religious, like, demon repeller.
Has to be. Oh, that was an interesting one. It seems like this is an office or a house or something. I've never seen it, guys. And wherever this is supposed to be.
Oh, nah.
Oh, biscuits.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that was good. Oh, shoot.
What
How did they get that? How did they get right there? It's like a ran up the stairs. There had to be a cut. Where's the cut at?
Right
there. That cut was superb. Y'all might get a 10 this week. That jump scare made me like pucker my butt. You know what? I just got surprised. we'll just leave it there. The last one for this week is called Break and Enter FNAF VHS by Wyatt Butler. Now this was sent to us by Darius Fenton, who said, "This had my eyes watering. Also, I'll be sure to censor my slice that like that." Listen, if y'all haven't done that already, let me give you a second to do so. I know we on the last animation, a lot of people probably gone and stuff, but you're still here because you're still hearing this. So go ahead and do what you gotta do.
Oh, hush, Corey.
Thank you. I didn't know that happened to y'all too. I thought I was special. I thought that only happened to me. Like when I get really, really creeped out, like my eyes just start watering. I don't know why that happens.
Sometimes when we get emotionally overwhelmed by any kind of emotion, our eyes start to water because we don't know how else to react.
Yeah.
It's like when you get so happy, you start crying.
This is kind of crazy.
You're
already.
Not sad. You're happy.
How do they do stuff?
But
like
you're
this?
just so overwhelmed with happiness that your body doesn't know what else to do with the happiness than cry.
Yeah.
That's my theory, at least.
Ready Fazbear's. Y'all ready for that FNAF movie? I know I am.
Bruh, it's already out. It already been out. I've already been watched it. See, this is what I mean.
Uh-oh.
I do this every single Saturday. Granted, this is a live stream, so it takes a lot less effort and a lot less, editing and...
Alright, so this person just wants to die. Like, why do you walk into this?
Even when I actually recorded and edited, I still at least try to record on Saturdays.
Like, is this real?
And
is
have
this
it edited by Sunday or
Blender? Like, how?
Something. Dashcon ball pit. I don't know if anyone here is gonna understand that joke, but it's really funny to me. Who peed in the ball pit?
You don't think it's time to leave? That's what you get. Why weren't you running to begin with? Oh, he's on the other side?
Shit,
I thought he was by the entrance.
Hey.
Stop it! Stop it!
This is where we swoop our leggies up onto the toilet. And press our arms into our chest tight as we can. And try to hope that the damn door keeps us safe.
What? Who's that?
I have no idea what that was about. Why is this person doing this? What possible reason do they have for this? Do they work? If they worked there, they wouldn't be.
Just remember, friends are forever.
Oh, I thought he was dead right there.
Peeking around.
Chica looking dead at him. Oh my goodness!
Hi, Freddy.
Oh, they caught me off guard with that.
Game over.
Well,
they put him on fire?
Don't go.
Oh, I thought he was about to get stuffed with an endoskeleton. I mean, he could do a fire. Oh, dude.
You're gonna die, bro.
You're gonna have to run through. Oh, there's
window.
There's a window in there.
Freedom, motherfuckers.
Fucking idiots.
Time to escape.
These seconds thought I couldn't climb out of a window. That was cool. But alright, you guys. What a strong way to come back. That was definitely a 10. I really, really loved the boy in the camera one. That one was probably top 10. Bring it again next week, or else. And yes, Spooky Scary Sunday's back. Hopefully. I'm gonna need more 10s from you. Mandatory, not a request. Spooky Scary Sunday. See you next week.
You ever notice the back of his chair kind of looks like a face? Kind of like a reverse of the Scream mask.
Cause my name is Cory Kenshin.
And that's another big difference between me and Cory Kenshin. He always puts proverbs and verses at the ends of his video in this cool little animation, but I don't do that. Mostly because I don't have the mind or the interest to try to do something like that. And now for the final video, we have Mr. Creepy Animated Horror Stories number 4, Starbucks, 7-Eleven, and Pizza Hut. Oh yeah, baby, let's get it started.
People often love to collect beautiful Starbucks mugs, and especially limited edition ones. But for me, every time I look at those cups, my head gets dizzy and uncomfortable. They have been the most terrifying obsession of my life, and now I will tell you about my crazy experience. I was 22 years old back then, and didn't have to find a job because my family was well off, and I never had to worry about money. But that time was different. My mom and I had a big quarrel about me moving out, and I actually left the house because of that. Without a penny, my friends suggested to me to work in a small Starbucks in the city. This store was a bit special because of a giant cup placed outside, and a lot of people came to take photos with it.
Hold on. There's clearly a door there.
The cup was 8 feet high and had a door to enter the inside. But as I remembered, customers were never allowed to touch it. I once hoped that when I became an employee at the store, I could discover the secret inside the cup. On the first day of work, I was extremely impressed with the manager's appearance there. He was 30 years old, but had the appearance of a 50-year-old man. There was a lot of gray hair on his head. His cheeks were drooping like a basset hound. His personality was yet as terrible as his appearance. He yelled at the staff all the time as if no one could ever please him. That working day, he kept going back and forth to nitpick one by one. Especially when he came to my spot, he looked at me from top to toe with his judgmental eyes, and I could feel a bit of disgusting perversion in the air. Right from the moment I came here to work, my colleague, whose name was Kelly, told me not to get involved with the manager. Straighten your back. It was around 10 p.m. and the shift was about to end.
Okay, no, that is sexual harassment. We're going to HR with that, and we're getting this place shut the fuck down right now.
The manager said that I had to learn to bartend and that he would teach me. It turned out to be an endless nightmare for me. When he was instructing me, he intentionally touched my hand and stood really close to me. Every time he said something, his mouth gave off an extremely disgusting smell of rotten meat. Although I tried to concentrate and mix the right proportions or do exactly as he taught, every time I gave him a drink, his face wrinkled and scowled, saying I didn't do it right. In the next few days, he continued to make me stay late to learn bartending. Day by day, he deliberately stood close to me, making me extremely uncomfortable. I thought I couldn't take it anymore. The thought of quitting my job popped into my head. It was the 5th day he asked me to stay. This time he was more aggressive, came closer to me, and suddenly grabbed my arm. Mary, go on a date with me. We'll make a perfect couple.
Sir, what are you talking about? Let go of my hand.
Oh, don't be shy. No girl has ever refused a handsome guy like me.
Handsome? Handsome where?
Pervert! Let me go! Let me go!
I used all my strength to pull my hand out of his disgusting grip, but he still laughed maniacally as he approached me.
Come here!
Disgusting old
The more
creep.
I stepped back, the more he moved forward. With the cup of hot coffee in my hand, I angrily shoved it in his perverted face, causing him to roar with burns. His screams also made me suddenly wake up and realize what I just did. Frightened, I turned and ran away, but the moment I was about to leave, my heart skipped a beat because my hair was yanked back and I fell on the floor.
That's why I like to
head
keep my
hit
hair
the
short.
floor so hard that I was extremely dizzy. In my sight was the manager, his skin flushed with burns, his bloodshot eyes clearly showing blood vessels. He glared at me like he wanted to eat me alive. I knew I was in danger, but I couldn't control myself from shaking. My heart was beating faster and faster, making my brain feel like it was going to explode out of my head.
You're gonna pay for this! No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Please!
He didn't care about my pleas, but grabbed me by the neck and dragged me forward. He tied me up and put me in the giant Starbucks cup. The fear increased when I saw a decomposing corpse inside. It was still wearing a Starbucks uniform and was in a tied position like me.
Sit in here and think about it. You should know that dating me is a blessing.
Gross.
Then he closed the door.
Nasty
My
asshole.
surroundings were so dark and cramped that I could barely breathe. The invisible pressure of darkness weighed heavily on my head. Plus, the skeleton's presence scared me to the point of madness. I screamed madly until I became exhausted and then gradually fell asleep. The next morning, the buzzing sound of the store woke me up. The sound of customers laughing and talking, the sound of colleagues calling customers' names gave me hope.
Help! Someone help me! I'm here! Please!
I shouted until my throat hurt, but
God,
no
what the
one
hell is
answered.
happening?
The people who could save me were right outside the cup, but no one could hear my pleas for help. Hopelessness slowly embraced my whole body.
Let me go! Let me go! Please help me!
Until the end of the day, no one heard my words crying for help. No one knew I was stuck in that cup.
What the hell
My
is
body
wrong with this
gradually
guy?
weakened. It was limp from exhaustion. I felt like I was dying. The bright light entered my eyes. In front of me now was my colleague, Kelly. That horrible dream finally came to an end. I was so exhausted that I couldn't speak and felt so blessed that I could eventually safely pass out. When I woke up in the hospital, I was taken by the police to testify about the whole incident. Kelly also told me how she found me. Fortunately, later that day, Kelly was in charge of cleaning. When she came to clean the cup, she was curious about what was inside, so she opened it and happened to see me. The psychopath manager was also arrested and charged
Good God. Jesus fuck.
before the law. But now I forever carry in me a fear of narrow spaces and the dark.
I feel like that's fair enough, you know? I feel like that's a fair enough, I feel like that's fair enough of a, you know, reaction to that. I mean, narrow spaces are terrifying anyways. You could easily die.
To talk about food delivery, many people who do this job feel that this is a rather dangerous job.
Pizza
Especially
slut.
when delivering food at night, or delivering food to abandoned places, or even a place that can't be found on the map. As for the story I am about to tell you, it will probably be classified as the most terrible case. It happened 5 years ago. At that time, I was a senior at...
Okay, the car kind of looks like a mouse going, ugh.
Northwestern University with a part-time job as a delivery man at a Pizza Hut. This job is quite hard and ominous. I often run into bizarre clients, like someone forced me to bring the pizza to the bedroom, or some people ran out to receive things without wearing anything. But in return, sometimes I get high tips, so I continue to work to make ends meet. Because I have to go to school during the day, I often receive deliveries in the night shift. At first, I was a bit scared because the streets here were empty, but after traveling on them a lot, I got used to it. I have a patron named Haley who calls me privately to order pizza. She has a very hot appearance with shiny blonde hair, making me wish she'd...
Oh, I didn't wake you up, right? Okay. Something tells me this chick's gonna be a murderer.
Order a pizza every day just so I could see her. Haley has a habit of ordering pizza once a week and every Wednesday. But all day that Wednesday, I waited forever without her calling me. At the time, I thought, maybe she ordered pizza elsewhere. Or maybe last time I did something not appropriate with her? I remember it was around 1 a.m. I got a text from Haley saying pizza delivery as usual. While I felt sleepy, I felt energized when I received that message. I immediately urged everyone...
Bro's really gonna risk his life for some probably not so great poontang.
...to make pizza quickly so that I could get to her soon. At the front door of Haley's house, I eagerly rang the doorbell. Hello, pizza has arrived. Adjusting my hair, I put a charming smile on my lips. But as soon as the door opened, I couldn't smile anymore. In front of me was an old woman wrinkled like a pickle, and she smiled to reveal a blank, toothless mouth. I looked at her in bewilderment and then looked back at the house number to make sure I didn't go to the wrong house.
Oh, the pizza has finally arrived.
Who are you? And where's Haley?
Oh, well, Haley, she's busy now. I'm her grandma.
Oh, okay. Here's the pizza. $10.
Can you bring it in for me, please?
In order to impress Haley's grandma, I brought the pizza in for her. But as soon as I walked in, I heard the door close with a slam and then a very decisive lock. I turned around, startled to see her smile, not very friendly.
Put it on the table.
Okay, but why did you lock the door?
I want to ask you to do some more work. It will take some time, and it's midnight. I lock it up for safety.
I knew there was something wrong with the act, but I let it go and thought, what could an old woman do?
You see, I have no teeth. Can you help me? How? Chew on it and feed it to me.
What?
Ew.
Sorry, but I can't do that.
She immediately changed her attitude. Her eyes rolled back to look at me, then pulled out the electric pliers and pointed them at me. At this point, I realized the real danger. I thought I was faster than her and strong enough to kick the other door, so I quickly ran towards the main door to get out. However, no matter how hard I pushed, how hard I kicked, the door still wouldn't open. She moved closer to me, then forcefully thrust the electric pliers at me. Immediately, I was rolled to the ground and convulsed non-stop. Fortunately, after that electric shock, I was still alive, but my whole body went limp, feeling like there was no strength left. And then she pulled my collar and dragged me away.
What's wrong with
Please,
this chick?
forgive me. Let me go. I'm just an innocent delivery man. I swear I won't tell anyone. I'll do whatever you want. Please. Anything? She then took me to where I placed the pizza box earlier and pushed my head down.
God, this is great.
And feed me! I had no choice but to do what she said. Picking up a slice, I chewed it in my mouth, then spat out my gooey, saliva-stained chewed pizza. And she happily opened her mouth to wait for me to put it into her mouth. As soon as I put that disgusting piece of pizza in her mouth, she swallowed it right away. Witnessing that scene, I couldn't help but shiver with disgust.
Yep.
Whoa! Indeed, it's been a long
Get over
time
here.
since I've eaten that pizza.
She then continued to force me to chew on each piece of mushy pizza and then feed her until she was full.
Also, I
was
smacked
still
the
trying to endure
shit
this
out of my
disgusting
arm
sight
earlier.
and holding on to the hope that when she was satisfied,
Sorry, I tried
she
not
would
to yell.
release me.
Wow.
Can I go now?
Yeah, I just have a bad well.
Didn't you agree to my plea?
Oh, I need you to be my teeth for the rest of my life.
No. What's wrong with you?
Otherwise, I will take your teeth.
At this point, I was dumbfounded. She was a crook. I was angry and wanted to rush towards her, but she pulled out those electric pliers and threatened me. This time, she also held a pair of pliers still stained with fresh blood. Once again, the electric pliers made me flinch.
Maybe
Faced with
a
the danger in
basket?
front of me, I tried to think of any way to get out of here. To her surprise, I ran back into the house and chose a random room to hide in. She was outside, constantly banging on the door, screaming and threatening me, but there was no way I was going to get out of there. But in this same room, I was shocked when I saw Haley's body. She died without closing her eyes. Her teeth had been pulled out without a single one left. That old woman is not her grandmother. That horrifying scene left me frozen for a long time. The old woman's louder knock on the door was what brought me back to reality. She somehow managed to get an axe and bang on the door repeatedly.
Here's Johnny. You can't escape, son. Give me your teeth.
I panicked and looked around, but fortunately, the window in the room was still open. I quickly climbed over it and managed to get out of the house to her surprise and anger.
This is where we call
After
it
successfully escaping that hell on earth, I immediately ran back to the car, drove away, and got on the phone to call the police.
Oh my God.
It turns out she was the landlord that Haley had rented from. But until now, 5 years later, they still haven't found that scary lady. Let me tell you, be careful if you go out for a delivery and see a wrinkled, gray-haired old woman with a mouth without any teeth. The incident happened a few years ago when I was working as a part-time employee at a 7-Eleven store. Even though it's now all in my past, I still can't forget what happened that day. It was the most horrifying experience in my life. Late in the season of that year, I was looking for a part-time job. After a while, I accepted a night shift offer at a local 7-Eleven store. Milo was one of my co-workers that shared the same shift. He was not so friendly. After working with him for many days, I got the feeling that he was trying to hide some dark secrets.
Probably.
That day, I worked at the store alone. Moments later, a girl entered the store. "Hello, welcome to 7-Eleven. Excuse me, may I use the restroom here?" The guest's restroom was under maintenance, so I told her to use the staff restroom. After a while, she returned with a pale face, as if she had seen something extremely horrible. "Are you okay? I think there's something in the restroom." "Excuse me? I heard a strange noise. I thought there was a ghost." "What?"
A ghost.
So I went with her to the restroom to check, but there was nothing inside. I tried pressing the flush. There was a very strange sound. I pressed it again, and this time, it scared me. Perhaps there's something down there. I bent down to take a closer look. Gosh, this really made me sick and disgusted. But the guest insisted that there was something inside, so I had no choice but to put my hand in to check. And I felt something. It was a secret camera that was as small as a fingernail.
Gross. A camera in the toilet.
But that was not the worst thing. I discovered the camera had a wire connected to something else. I followed the line and found 4 other cameras put in hidden places in the restroom, and their wires led to the other side of the wall. Over there was the warehouse, and the only one who held the key to that house was Milo. I finally figured all of this out. He had secretly placed a camera in the store's restroom. His disgusting behavior gave me chills. I couldn't believe he was such a psychopath. You sick bastard. So the girl and I decided to call the police. After they arrived, the police discovered the computer that Milo used to connect to the hidden cameras. There were many video clips of employees, including me, and customers. We immediately vomited after seeing those clips. Milo was arrested right away. He kept denying his crime, but they presented those clips as evidence against
really
him.
Gross.
The store manager was extremely angry after knowing that. He kicked him out of the store.
You have to wonder why someone would want something like that. Chicken! Hello, baby. Oh, hello, Rosie. Rosie Beans. I'm sure I could think of why someone would want videos like that, but I don't want to say it here. It's too disgusting, even for YouTube.
Immediately. It wasn't me. I swear. I was framed. Even when he was arrested, Milo still tried to explain. It wasn't me. I didn't do anything. Don't deny it. I found them myself. You have to pay for it. I was framed. Let me out! Melanie, I'll kill you! Despite Milo's pleas, I was adamant that he was the guilty one. A month has passed since that day. The hidden camera story reminded me to be more alert of perverts. At times, I remembered Milo's hostile gaze, and I felt minor goosebumps. Now, every time I used the bathroom, I looked around at least once to make sure there weren't any cameras. Milo? I was surprised when I saw him standing right in front of me. He looked rough and creepy. I could feel he was very angry.
What the hell?
You ruined my life. I lost my job because of you.
What are you saying? What you did was a crime.
I told you I didn't do it, but you didn't care. You put me in jail. It was so hurtful. I lost. You have to pay for it.
Milo, just calm down. We can put this back together.
No! You must pay with your life! Right now. That's the only way!
Milo
Crazy
snorted
dude.
like a beast. His bloodshot eyes looked straight at me. His teeth gritted. I panicked when looking at those eyes. At this moment, I knew
Also, why was
everything would
this
drive
one
him
random
crazy.
employee the only one
But
that
if
had
I
keys
didn't
to
do
the
anything,
warehouse?
I would be dead. Milo rushed towards me with a sharp knife. I stepped back in fear, and fortunately, the knife didn't touch my skin. I struggled with him, but he was strong as hell. He punched me so hard that I fell to
Yeah,
the
dude is
ground.
complete
I was
psycho.
begging him, but he held up the knife.
Goodbye, Melanie!
When Milo was painfully backing away, I immediately ran away. Luckily, when I ran out, the police had just arrived and I was saved in time. Milo was arrested by the police again while I was still shivering in the store. While getting myself back, I noticed that there was a flashing red light in the potted plant in the corner of the wall. I squinted and realized it was another hidden camera.
The hell? So they didn't find all the was he not lying? Did he actually not plant all those cameras? It would make sense if the boss planted those cameras, actually, thinking about it, yeah? The boss would have had to give the guy the keys. The boss would have to have the keys to the warehouse as well, right? I don't know, I might just be... Oh yeah, no, it's still definitely not a good reason to kill someone, but I'm thinking it might have actually been the store manager that did it. Like, maybe they should have actually investigated the store manager. I don't know.
Since her parents died in a tragic accident,
Whoa! You're really just gonna dump that on us? Like 10 tons of oil? You're really just gonna... Since her parents died in a tragic accident, you're really just gonna do that? You're really just gonna start the story like that? Damn. That's... We really starting this story off with, since her parents died in a tragic accident. Wow. Okay. We're having a typical fan fiction writer moment here. Because both her parents were dead. They died in a tragic accident when she was 10 years old. We don't even know her name. You're really just gonna dump this on us like a wet sack of turds.
Years ago, Evelyn had always been alone, with no...
Evelyn. But this is very much a, like, Wattpad story. Like, when she was 13 years old, her parents died in a tragic accident. But she still attends school every day. Her blue orbs and her majestic blonde hair. Rip, yeah. Like, this seriously confounds me to no end. I will be completely honest. You know what this reminds me of? Hold on. Off topic. I cannot read right now. This is so hard. I cannot see. Okay, here we go. This is a TikTok from Lateria Reads with 3 S's.
So, we all just hear from TikTok? Apparently, I am. We got home from dinner late that night. Our coats were barely off before he shoved me against the wall and peered closer to my face. Personal space, sir? Hey yo, why are we going so fast? Isn't this chapter 1? Pretty sure this is chapter 1. And he got us pressed against the wall. What if his breath stinks? Want to explain why you had an attitude tonight? Nothing. Use your words. Use your words. Is she 4 years old? Man, probably. Because you were talking to that lady all night. What lady? What fucking lady? Ain't no lady over there. Stop. I knew that was coming. He inched closer to my face and growled. I've had enough of your attitude. Get on your knees. For what?
Hey, yo. We ain't going down that route right now.
Y'all are dragging this dress to hell. There's over 800 comments of you guys just dragging this dress. My goodness. So we cosplaying a... I woke up early like I usually do and started getting ready for school.
Kick frog. Yes, I'm sorry.
My blue orbs and into a messy bun.
I'm very sorry, okay? I'm only human. Barely. I'm like 70% human. The rest is possum. I'm trying to get some context so y'all forget. Okay, yeah. We're watching this to get context. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this is real Wattpad YN bullshit.
I woke up early like I usually do and started getting ready for school. I pulled my golden blonde hair away from my blue orbs and into a messy bun. Who's YN? Because she's not me. Let me guess, she's not like other girls. Orbs, you an avatar? You been water, earth, fire, air?
Just trust me, okay? There's a lot of 1%. 1% what, bro? 1% crocodile? 1% llama? What am I? Anyways. Basically, there's a story writing application, if you can call it that, called Wattpad, and a lot of the stories go basically like tragic backstory. 1% human? Okay, sure, fine, buddy. 1% frog. Can we leave the frog alone? Oh my god, I am getting bullied.
Friends or relatives. She was alone even on her own birthday. Because she was lonely.
But seriously, this is very much like Wattpad hours, like some edgy teenager is trying to write a sad backstory for their super cool, beautiful character who gets all the cool boys.
Decided to give herself a trip to her old neighborhood on her
I'm
26th
being
birthday.
bullied.
Her old house was long
The
demolished,
possum is
but there was still a
stupid.
place that she really liked when she was a kid. That was the Chuck E. Cheese restaurant downtown. It was dark when Evelyn arrived at the store. This place didn't seem to have changed at all, except that it looked older. After hesitating for a moment, Evelyn pushed the door and walked in. It was exactly the same as 13 years ago. Evelyn quietly looked at the pictures on the wall. The memories of herself as a child came rushing back like a slow-motion film. The tears streamed down her face. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
I'd T-pose if I could, but...
The voice startled Evelyn. Standing right behind her was Charles, the famous mascot of Chuck E.
Charles
Cheese.
Entertainment
It
Cheese?
was sliding left and right, dancing and singing familiar melodies. Evelyn burst into laughter, wiped her tears, and clapped her hands to the lyrics. My poor girl.
I guess not. Bro, is this rat really gonna try rizzing her up?
Girl, are you celebrating your birthday alone? Are you here by yourself? Charles tilted his head questioningly. Evelyn
Charles
sadly
Entertainment
nodded.
Cheese is really
Where
gonna
is your
try
family?
to hit up this girl
They
up.
passed away. Oh, that's so sad. Poor girl. Charles
Yeah,
put
Grimace.
his hand on her shoulder. Let me join your birthday party, okay? It had been
Yes,
a long
Grimace
time
is
since
well,
Evelyn
actually,
had
hold on.
some.
I think that's actually Munch. That one's name is Munch. I forget the chicken's name. So scary. Yeah. I'm just making fun of this. It's just completely asinine. Charles Entertainment Cheese is trying to flirt with this girl by talking to her about her dead family. We've got Munch in the background, who Ryan think is Grimace. But Munch is different than Grimace. Yeah, Henny something. Ah, for fuck's sake. I cannot remember right now. Oh, spicy chicken. Chicken. Cheese. Yeah, the rat's called Mac in honor. I did not go there much, but I do know the names of the characters. Why? Why what? Okay, Helen Henny. I was right. Helen Henny. Are you asking why I do this, or like why I stopped? Whoa! Out of left field,
Someone
that
by
one.
her side, so she felt comfortable enough to talk about her family with Charles.
God,
Since
this is
then,
gonna go horribly wrong.
I always have to celebrate my birthday alone. After her story, Mouse Charles suddenly burst into
Mouse?
tears. I don't have parents either. Mouse Charles
Actually,
cried
that's
as
Lord.
he talked about them. According to him, his story
don't
was
know?
even
Okay,
worse
cool.
than hers. He had no parents. He didn't know when his birthday was and had never gotten
Emo
the
and the
chance to
rat.
celebrate one.
It's like
I'm so low.
it's like Wish version of Beauty and the Beast. You get Emo and the Rat.
Only. Mouse Charles was still crying. Evelyn comforted him. Don't cry, Charles. Charles leaned on Evelyn's shoulder, holding his face and crying so hard that his heart was broken. Evelyn tried to comfort
This
his
is
sadness.
so weird.
I wish you were my sister. Suddenly, the mouse mascot pressed his face close to Evelyn's. Please, be my sister. Please, be my sister.
What the?
I want a sister. I want a sister.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Yeah, she's stroking the rat's fur, but like now we're getting like really into danger zone. Like, bro's gone from low-key, high-key hitting on her to asking her to be his sister. It's not a mouse, it's a rat! He's a rat! It was out of line to begin with!
He suddenly grabbed her hand. Will you be my sister? Charles kept asking the questions, which scared Evelyn even more. She immediately threw his hand away and rushed out of the store. While running, she could still hear the crying and lamenting echo in the distance.
About to die?
Not until 3 blocks away did Evelyn remember that she had left her bag in the store.
Ah, biscuit.
So she was forced to return to the store.
Leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it.
Inside, not even the mouse mascot. She got to the table to grab the bag. But as soon as
the
she
dog's
picked
name
it
is
up,
Jasper
something suddenly
or other.
hit her so hard on the head that she fainted.
Aw, shit. Well,
Evelyn slowly opened her eyes, feeling her head aching to death. The whole room was lit.
I am just very good at my job at finding the weirdest, most crazy bullshit on the internet.
Only by a small yellow bulb. Under the dim
Oh
light,
shit,
she was
well this
horrified
isn't
to
good.
find herself in a cage in the middle of an empty room. Evelyn heard distant hums but could see nothing but darkness. Mouse Charles suddenly walked into the room, which made Evelyn step back in panic. He didn't say a word, just pushed Evelyn's cage out of the dark room. The hum and creaking got louder and louder as they moved. Until she
You want a
reached
cat
another
video
room,
today?
Evelyn was petrified at the scene before her. In front of her eyes was a
what's who
banquet
doing
table
where?
filled with rancid food and a distorted birthday cake. Sitting on the chair was a couple. Their limbs and mouths were all bound tightly. They could only make gurgling sounds. On the floor, white bones lay scattered. The clothes on the corpses were so ragged.
We're watching a story where an emo girl who is secretly YM from Wattpad, super tragic backstory. Her parents died. Real tragic. All her family hates her, etc. Goes to Chuck E. Cheese, gets hit on by the rat, and is now kidnapped by the rat. Charles Entertainment Cheese. Do what with my ears?
My God! Evelyn was so frightened. She sat shivering in her cage. Her mind was blank.
Mom?
Make it?
Dad?
Oh, my model? Yeah, I made my model by myself.
To introduce you to our new family member, Evelyn.
Mouse Charles spoke up excitedly.
Evelyn, you can say hello
No,
to
I am
your
not a
new
longhorn
parents.
bull. I am a possum.
No. Evelyn burst into
I don't
tears.
have a tail because I just can't figure out how to do it. They don't want to pay someone to do it because I don't really want to. I'm trying to do this my own way. They do look like horns. Yes.
You said you wanted a family, didn't you? Charles didn't seem to be pleased by the answer.
Oh gosh.
No.
Chat's
Evelyn
going
was
crazy.
Still sobbing and shaking. Come on. You're acting
Crazy
like a
chat.
really bad child. That deserves punishment.
You love watching this thing?
No! 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 Evelyn screamed frantically as Mouse Charles opened the cage door and roughly dragged her out of it. Please,
The possum.
Please!
Looks like a girl with long ear syndrome to me. Whatever you want, man. I know what I'm supposed to
There
be.
came a boy sobbing in front of a Chuck E. Cheese restaurant. What's
Well, the
going
fur
on?
is like my hair.
Charles suddenly appeared.
And I'm
couldn't
trying my
find
best
mother
to figure out how to make a
anywhere.
tail.
He looked up.
Do you know where she is?
Charles shook his head. Oh, that sounds so sad.
But one of these days I'll make like a nice big fur coat for my model so that it'll look more, you know, like an actual possum.
A lot of people love to shop at Dollar Tree because it offers almost everything they need with reasonable prices. The only problem here is the staff. They are often arrogant and bad-mannered with the customers. But this particular Dollar Tree was so much different. The staff here seemed to be so friendly, somehow a little over-friendly. On his first day of working at Dollar Tree, Albert was assigned to tidy up the stalls, which was easy for beginners. After telling Albert about the rules, the manager reminded him to always smile whenever he saw customers. Albert
What
was
would
a
you
nice
prefer,
staff
like
member,
an actual
following the rules
photorealistic
strictly
possum
and
on
smiling
screen?
all the time. One day, while packing the goods, he was startled to see an arm on his shoulder.
Ah,
When he
thanks.
turned around, it was one of his co-workers
What's
at
up with
Dollar
all those
Tree.
emojis,
This
dude?
guy
Oh my
looked so
god.
sleepless and terribly tired. Hey, have you seen Sam the manager anywhere? He asked. Albert said, The manager? He's at the counter. The guy didn't say thank you or anything. He just walked away.
Probably. Oh well.
After a while, that guy
Such
came
is
out
life.
to the manager's room. In his hand was a pack of gum, which he tore open a wrapper and ate a stick right away. Albert wasn't surprised
Yeah,
to see
hold
that
on.
and just focused on his task.
Yeah.
But after eating
No.
the gum, that guy's worn-out face was
No.
replaced with a happy
Go to
smiling
horny
one.
jail.
Even when he was terribly scolded
Horny
by a
jail
customer,
for you.
he still showed that smiling face no matter what.
None of that.
The next morning, when Albert
Shame
went to
on
work,
you.
he went to see yesterday's coworker and found out his name was Ron. Ron was now back to his everyday sad and sleepy face. While they were talking, manager Sam came in and
I
asked
have
Ron
no
to come
idea,
into the
man.
room
This is
to
just
talk.
how the animation
After 10
is.
minutes, Ron came out with the bubblegum in his hand and quickly ate it. Then he immediately changed into a happy employee with a weird smile on
No,
his
I did not
face.
ban you.
He smiled like that all day, which made Albert feel
You like my possum
uncomfortable
outfit?
and annoyed.
Thank you. Someone's being
In the next few
nice in the
days,
chat.
Ron went into the management office every morning and came out with a big,
Oh,
wide,
good
and
lord.
somewhat
Why?
weird and creepy grin on his
Hi,
face.
Cheeto.
Ron acted more
goodness.
and more strangely, his smile growing more and more creepy instead of friendly.
Dummy boy.
It was like he was forced to smile instead of voluntarily smiling. Now Albert felt something was wrong about his coworker.
Bye, hon.
What made him become
Love you
like
more.
that? Albert went to the trash can where Ron dumped his garbage. It was full of pink candy wrappers. He picked one of them up and read the label.
Smile gum.
Smile gum. What the
That's
hell
weird.
is this?
Not being mean, being honest.
People
Okay,
came and
well,
went.
thank you for
Even
being
Ron
honest.
said he
but
would quit Dollar Tree soon. Albert had to work up to 14 hours a day for many days in a row. Today, he went to work with a tired and lifeless
how do I find
face.
this entertaining?
When a customer asked, he
I don't know.
reluctantly answered
I just
them.
do.
Sometimes he even got angry with customers.
It's mostly entertaining
Manager Sam
because of
soon
the
realized
people in
what
the
was
chat,
happening.
honestly.
So he called him into the management room.
Honestly, I'm getting bored of this video. Bot shit. Honestly, you're on some bot shit. No. Stop with that. You are being so weird. Oh, hell no. You did not just ask that. You realize what you see on the screen right here. You realize here, what you see on the screen right now ain't real. Like, I don't exist. Anime? I am on YouTube. I cannot access the anime. Okay. What kind? We are staying on YouTube. I'm not going to any shady sites. What the hell? Yeah, that's what I'm asking, Retro Caramel. Yeah, I don't exist. The creature you see on the screen is a figment of my imagination. Yes, it has gone off the rails completely. Recap. Everything's gone to shit. We're all off the rails, nothing makes sense, and I want to go to bed. Because we have to be. And let's go. Well, maybe we'll watch that next time. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. So, thank you everybody for coming to hang out with me tonight. I gotta go play possum for a little while. Good night, everybody. Franco Tapate, if you come back here with this bullshit again, I will ban you. Shandy Kendrick, thank you for subscribing. Are you my husband? I'm married, happily married. Very, very happily married. I've been happily married for 7 years. Because fuck you. That's how. Good night.